Why did the United States become a power of individual rights? The invisible foundation of American strength greatness did not begin with the military. When people think of a great nation, they often think of aircraft carriers, missiles, defense budgets, or wealthy cities glowing at night. But those are results, not origins. No nation becomes a great power by weapons alone. No empire endures by wealth alone. With the United States, the root of greatness lies in a far more humble place, inside each ordinary individual. A citizen without power, without privilege, without lineage, yet protected by law as an entity of absolute value. America did not build its strength by placing the state above the individual. They did the opposite. They placed the individual above power. And that was the quietest yet deepest revolution in the history of human politics. There's a question that seems simple but determines the fate of an entire civilization. Where do human rights come from? From the state granting them, or from birth as rights no one may take away? In 1776, when 13 small colonies rose up against the most powerful empire in the world, they were not rebelling over taxes alone. They were rebelling over an idea. Thomas Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Independence, open quote, "All men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights." Close quote. That sentence shook the foundations of every authoritarian regime that had ever existed. For the first time in history, human rights did not originate from a throne, a church, or a government. They originated from human dignity itself. And from that moment, 3 foundational rights were born. Chapter 2, the 3 rights that gave birth to America. 1. The right to life, the absolute limit of power. For Americans, the right to life is not merely the right not to be killed. It is the right not to be treated as a tool, not to be sacrificed for political interests, not to have one's fate decided by power. The state exists to protect human beings, not to determine their worth. This is America's first moral boundary. 2. The right to liberty, the condition for becoming oneself. Liberty, for Americans, is not chaos. Liberty means not being controlled in thought, not being forced to believe what one does not believe, not being compelled to live according to the mold of power or the majority. Liberty means no one is allowed to live your life for you. This philosophy turns every individual into an independent being, responsible and valuable. 3. The right to the pursuit of happiness, the boldest revolution. Never before had a nation declared, human beings have the right to pursue happiness. Not happiness handed down, not happiness defined by the state, but happiness chosen by the individual. The government has no right to decide how you must live in order to be correct. From that moment, the United States became a magnet for millions of people who dared to dream, dared to risk, dared to start over. Chapter 3, Freedom of Speech and Freedom of Religion, the soul of an open society. In 1791, the First Amendment was born. Congress shall not establish a state religion, prohibit the free exercise of religion, abridge freedom of speech, abridge freedom of the press, prohibit assembly and petition. What does this mean? It means the state is silenced before the people. In America, you can criticize the president. You can sue the government. You can say the wrong thing. You can say unpopular things, because freedom of speech does not exist to protect what is right. It exists to prevent power from deciding what is truth. And freedom of religion, America has no state religion, no religious government, no forced belief. They separated religion from politics to protect both. The result is a society where conscience is not controlled and power is not sanctified. Chapter 4, Property Rights, the engine of prosperity. Americans believe if you create value, you have the right to own its results. Property rights in America are not just about assets. They include labor, intellect, creativity, lifetime. When the state cannot arbitrarily confiscate the fruits of labor, people dare to invest, start businesses, take risks, fail, and start again. This philosophy gave birth to startup culture, Silicon Valley technological revolutions, the most powerful creative economy in the world, no 5-year plans, no central commands, just millions of free individuals doing the work they believe in. Chapter 5, the right to self-defense, the right to resist, the fear of all governments. Americans asked a question that very few nations dare to face. If the government becomes dangerous, who protects the people? Their answer was not, hope the government is good. It was, the people themselves. The Second Amendment was born in a time of no strong federal army, no modern police force, no instant protection of student rights. The right to self-defense is not a celebration of violence. It is a reminder that power must never be absolute. Alongside it exist the rights to resist, to protest, to supervise government. In America, protest is not chaos. It is a safety valve of democracy. A society that allows dissent is a society that avoids tyranny. Chapter 6, Equality before the law, when the state must bow to law. The 14th Amendment declares, no one stands above the law. A president can be investigated. A judge can be impeached. A police officer can be brought to court. A citizen can defeat the state in court. The right to a fair trial ensures no arbitrary arrest, no forced confession, no emotional convictions, the right to a lawyer, the right to an independent jury. The Supreme Court can strike down even laws passed by Congress if they violate individual rights. In America, the rule of law does not serve power. The rule of law controls power. Conclusion. A nation built from free individuals. The United States is not perfect. It had slavery. It had racial discrimination. It made grave mistakes. But it has something very few nations possess, a mechanism for self-correction. They do not hide mistakes. They bring them into the light and correct them through law. Those 10 individual rights transformed citizens into national assets, freedom into an engine of creativity, law into a shield for the weak. And that is why, in just over 250 years, a young nation became one of the most powerful civilizations in history. Not because it is rich, not because it is strong, but because it believes in human beings. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you found it useful, don't forget to leave a comment and watch more videos on the channel to support us. Goodbye, and see you again in the next videos.